Hello, my lovely viewers. I gladly welcome you to Eureka Online Math Clinic lecture series. We have season 1, episode 6 of the mathematics lecture series. So in today's lecture, we are going to learn what problems involving fractions. So we are going to look at written statements that contain fractions. So we will extract those fractions and do justice to them. So it's an interesting topic we have here for you today. So sit back and enjoy this wonderful package. What problems involving fractions? Problem 1. A student spent 2 over 5 of his money on rent, 1 over 8 on transport, 1 over 4 on food, and has 9,000 naira left. A. How much did he have originally? B. How much did he spend on rent? Now, we don't know his money, the student's money. The first thing to do is get the student's money. So since we don't know the student's money, we'll use any alphabet of our choice to represent the student's money. So let his money be N naira. Therefore, money spent on rent becomes 2 over 5 of N, which will give us 2 over 5 times N. In board mass, of changes to multiplication. So money spent on rent becomes 2 over 5 times N, which is what? 2 times N is 2N over 5. Now, this is money spent on rent in representative capacity. This is not the actual money spent on rent. At the end of the day, when we get N, then we can now make substitution here and get the actual money spent on rent. So money spent on transport. From the question, they say is 1 over 8 of his money was spent on transport. So we now have 1 over 8 of N, which is equal to 1 over 8 times N, which is equal to 1 times N is N over 8. Money spent on food equal to 1 over 4 of N, which is equal to 1 over 4 times N, which is equal to N over 4. 1 times N is N, then N over 4. Total money spent. So what do? We add up the total money spent on food, rent, and transport. So total money spent, we have 2N over 5 plus N over 8 plus N over 4. So we look for the LCM of what? 5, 8, and 4. Good enough, we have treated LCM in one of our previous videos. So check it out. So we have 40 here as the LCM of 5, 8, and 4. So 40 divided by 5 will give us 8. 8 times 2N will give us 16N. Plus 40 divided by 8 will give us what? 5. 5 times N will give us 5N. Plus 40 divided by 4 will give us what? 10. 10 times N will give us 10N. So we add up all this and we have 31N over 40. Since he had 9,000 naira left, therefore N will be equal to what? 31N over 40 plus 9,000. What did we do here? We used a simple equation to connect the 3 key things. We have 3 key things here. What are the key things here? The money he had originally, the money he spent, the expenses he did on transport, food, and rent, then the amount left after doing the expenses. So these are the 3 key things we have here. So we use a simple equation to connect the 3 things. So since he had 9,000 naira left, it simply means the original amount now, the amount he had originally, which we represented by what? N, will now be equal to what? The total amount he spent plus the amount he had left after the expenses. So we'll now solve a simple equation. We collect like terms in N. So this one has N. It will move over to the left-hand side to join the one that has N here. And if it's moving over, it changes to minus because it has plus here, an invisible plus. It's plus at the front of this very term. It is an invisible plus. So while moving over to the left-hand side, it will not change to minus. So we now have N over 1 minus 31N over what? 40 equal to 9,000. Remember, the one that doesn't have a denominator, you assign a common denominator of 1 to it. And that was how we got N over 1. So what do we do here? We look for the LCM of 1 and 40. which will give us what? 40. So 40 divided by 1 will give us 40. 40 times n will give us 40n minus 40 divided by 40 will give us 1. 1 times 31n will give us 31n equal to 9,000 naira. Equal to 9,000. So we have 40n minus 31n will give us 9n over 40 equal to 9,000. Then we assign a common denominator of 1. So what do we do here? We cross multiply. This one we multiply this, while this one we multiply this. So 9n we multiply 1, while 9,000 we multiply 40, while 9,000 we multiply 40. So it's cross multiplication. So 9n times 1 will give us 9n. Then 9,000 times 40 will give us 360,000. Then from here now, n now will be equal to 360,000 divided by 9, which is equal to 40,000. So A, he had 40,000 originally. Then B, amount spent on rent. They said amount spent, he spent 2 over 5 of his money on rent. And now we have found his money, the money he had originally. We have found it to be 40,000. So amount spent on rent now becomes 2 over 5 of n, which will now give us 2 over 5 times 40,000. Of changes to multiplication. And n, we have found it to be 40,000. So we put it here. So what do? Division can go on between this and this. Division can go on between this and this. So what do? We divide. 5 here is 1. 5 here is what? 8,000. 5 persons share. 5 persons sharing 40,000. Each person will get what? 8,000. Then 8,000 times 2 will give us what? 16,000. So amount spent on rent becomes 16,000. The actual amount spent on rent. Why? 2n over 5 is the representative what? Amount. So problem 2. A student spent 4 over 5 of his pocket money on books. What fraction of his money has he left? Solution. We also follow the pattern we used in problem 1. Let his pocket money be x. So the first thing to do is get that very amount he had originally. That is his pocket money. We don't know his pocket money. So we use any alphabet of our choice to represent his pocket money. So let his pocket money be x. Amount spent on books. They say the amount spent on books is what? 4 over 5 of his pocket money. So we now have 4 over 5 of x, which will give us what? 4 over 5 times x. Of changes to multiplication. So 4 times x will give us 4x over 5. So amount left. Because the question is, what fraction of his money has he left? So we need to get the amount left first. So what do? Amount left will now be equal to his pocket money represented by x minus what? The amount he spent on books. That is x minus 4x over 5. So we assign a common denominator of 1. And we find the LCM of what? 1 and 5. We assign a common denominator of 1. Assign a common denominator of what? 1. So we'll now get the LCM of what? 1 and 5 to be what? 5. So 5 divided by what? 1 is 5. 5 times x is 5s minus 5 divided by 5 is what? 1. 1 times 4s will give us what? 4s. So we now have 5s minus 4s over 5, which will now give us what? X over 5. And 5 pieces of x minus 4 pieces of x will give us a piece of x. So we have x over 5. Therefore, the student has 1 over 5 of his pocket money left. You know, x over 5. X over 5 is equal to 1 over 5 of x. X over 5 simply means 1 over 5 of x. So they now say, what fraction of his pocket money has he left? So the fraction of his pocket money he has left becomes what? 1 over 5. So the student has 1 over 5 of his pocket money left. And 1 over 5 of his pocket money will give us this x over 5. So that is it for problem 2. I believe you enjoyed this lecture. Join us in our next lecture for another interesting package we have for you. Thank you very much. Bye for now. Cheers.